I'm now with Matt Oxley on the Lotus Owners Club stand. Good afternoon, Matt, and welcome to the Classic Restoration Show 2024.
Hello.
So could you give me a little brief description of the cars you've got on the stand?
Yes, we have a Lotus Elite that's being restored at the moment. We have the prototype of the Lotus Eclat from 1972.
That's the green one, yeah?
That's the green one on the stand. And then we have one of the very last Series 1 Esprits in the silver car.
Yeah,
and then next to it we have a very early Lotus Esprit Series 1 rolling chassis, so people can see what's underneath the fiberglass body shell.
So do you own any of these cars?
Yes, I own the silver Esprit and the rolling chassis.
Okay. So what's the plans for this white one then?
Well, it's going to be totally restored, but it's also going to be updated with a more powerful engine and sort of digital instruments and things like that.
Okay. So, and it's the 50th anniversary, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Lotus Elite. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and it's amazing. It's been so long, but it's such a.
So, what was the basic changes of the Lotus Elite? More luxurious Lotus, was that fair to say?
Yeah, I think when they introduced it, they'd gone from the Elan and Europa, which were a bit kit-car-y, and before that they were even more kit-car-y. So they went to a upmarket car, which was more family and businessman orientated. So yes, it's a lot more sorted, solid car.
So have you always been a fan of Lotus?
Yes, since I was a small boy. My parents had a Lotus Elan when I was a baby and kept it for years, so it's inborn pretty much.
So did you actually build that car yourself, or?
Yes, I bought it as a barn find, non-running, about 6 years ago, and did a nut and bolt restoration on it. And I finished it sort of probably about a year ago, and it's just too nice to drive at the moment, so I need to probably take it out on a wet day and just get over it.
So what was the hardest job on the renovation of it?
Well, it never came with the original engine, and it took me 2 years to track down the original engine, ringing people up and pop into places that were Lotus specialists to try and to go through our engines they'd got in stock, just see if they'd got it, sort of thing. That was hard. But yeah, other than that, they're quite a nice car to restore. All Lotuses are quite easy to restore.
So it's all original now then?
Absolutely, yeah. And I wouldn't have wanted it with the wrong engine. It would have been annoying.
Wouldn't be much point in doing it, would there?
No. So, and then this one's the car that I'm doing now, and the body's at the painters, and I was meant to bring the rolling chassis and its separate body shell, but it wasn't finished being painted, so I brought that car because they wanted a body shell and a chassis, and so.
Yeah, they were a different Lotus altogether, weren't they, when they came out? No doubt about it.
Yeah, they were, and I say from the Lotus 7 days and the Elan and Europa, they were wonderful cars to drive, but they're a little bit more fragile than the later cars. So.
Because the early Lotuses, the fiberglass body tended to sort of start cracking a bit, flexing a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean they always made a car to a weight limit, and they could never quite meet this weight target that a board had decided it should be. So they made everything as thin and as spindly as possible to try and get that target. And it was great when the car was new, but as it aged, things did maybe crack. I think
the first Lotus Elan, the S1 was, I remember somebody saying the fiberglass just started cracking and it couldn't move it, it just literally couldn't move the thing.
Yeah, and I think when they made the Europa first, every time you went over a bump, it would crack the windscreen. And to fix the problem, most of the car manufacturers would have made the chassis heavier and better. But Lotus made the wooden dashboard 1 laminate thicker, which was a stressed member of the car, and that fixed the windscreen's cracking, but all they did is added a tiny bit of extra thickness to the wooden dashboard, which is typical Lotus really.
Well, thank you very much for all the information. Thanks very much, Nat. Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks very much, thank you.